In the last episode, we discussed whether challenges in investigating Islam are real obstacles or simply misconceptions that require deeper research. We also addressed key concerns about Islam, often stemming from a misinterpretation of freedom and widespread misinformation. Now, let's dive into misinformation. Misleading points can only be uncovered through one thing: genuine search. Challenges we discussed were primarily about interpretation and understanding, not necessarily the core beliefs themselves, especially when someone did the search and understood from the right source. One of the sources that is considered powerful for the search process is to go deeply on the history, but why this matters to a seeker, as the systematic preservation of the religion might stand out as a strong argument for Islam's textual integrity. Islam emerged in 7th century Arabia and rapidly unified diverse tribes under a single faith, emphasizing equality and justice between them. Islam teachings are coming through the Muslims' book, Quran, and Prophet teachings, Sunnah or Hadith. The Quran has remained unchanged since its revelation, and Islamic teachings were meticulously preserved through the Hadith, which is the sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Memorization was a common tradition among Arabs, ensuring an oral chain of preservation. It was also written down on materials like parchment, bones, and palm leaves by scribes, under the Prophet's direct supervision, who verify these writings after the revelations. After the Battle of Yamama, many companions who had memorized the Quran were martyred. Fearing its loss, Caliph Abu Bakr, who is the Prophet's successor, ordered Zayd ibn Thabit, the Prophet's scribe, to collect the Quran into a single manuscript. This compilation involved cross-verifying written texts and oral recitations with living memorizers, ensuring accuracy. The manuscript was kept with Abu Bakr, then Umar, and finally Hafsa, the Prophet's wife. As Islam spread to non-Arab regions, differences in pronunciation and dialect emerged. To preserve uniformity, Caliph Uthman standardized the Quran into the Qurayshi dialect, the Prophet's own dialect, in order to avoid misinterpretation. Copies of the standardized Quran were sent to major cities, and other versions with differences were destroyed. This ensured a single, consistent text for all Muslims. But, how can I assure that the Islam documents I have on my hands right now is the same while going through all these years? The Birmingham Quran manuscript, radiocarbon dated to the Prophet Muhammad's lifetime or shortly after, contains parts of surahs 18 to 20. These match perfectly with the Quran we have today. Other ancient manuscripts, like the Topkapi and Samarkand manuscripts, are from Uthman's era or shortly after. Their content is consistent with modern copies. The Quran has always been memorized and passed down by millions of Muslims across generations. This living tradition ensures that even if all written copies disappeared, the Quran could be recompiled accurately from memory. Even today, Quranic memorization, hifz, is practiced worldwide, ensuring oral preservation. Unlike other scriptures, no versions of the Quran differ in content but minor differences at pronunciation, qira'ah, not meaning. Secondly, there was a system called ilm al-rijal, the sciences of narrators of the tradition, which is a trusted chain of narrators that is truly unique and meticulous. It provides a rigorous method for authenticating hadiths, ensuring that they trace reliably back to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, through a trusted chain of narrators. The process was so precise. Alongside this, ilm al-rijal was developed to scrutinize the reliability of individuals in the chain of narration for hadiths. Scholars evaluated narrators' memory, character, and consistency, creating an almost scientific process to ensure authenticity. Even Imam Bukhari, one of the greatest hadith scholars, examined over 600,000 narrations but included only about 7,000 in his collection because of the stringent criteria he applied to assess the chain of narrators. He rejected narrations from individuals known for lying, weak memory, or dubious character. This meticulous process ensured authenticity.